Hello, Frag fam. Welcome to today's video and welcome to Proverbs 27:9 Fragrances Review Channel. And today I'm going to be doing 10 more winter fragrances. So if you saw my previous, I did a top 10 winter fragrance video list. If I was to redo that list today, it would be different than it was. But these are 10 fragrances that none of these 10 were on that list. So it's a fresh 10 fragrances for winter list. And these fragrances are just paired up. I didn't really plan it that way, but 10 and 9 kind of go together, 8 and 7 kind of go together, 6 and 5, and then 4 and 3, and then 2 and 1. So before we get started, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. Please go ahead and like this video, and if you want to interact with me, please leave a comment, and I try to answer every comment. All right, number 10 on the list is from the house of Lalique. This is Ombre Noir All Extreme. Now, this is a fragrance that is very popular in the fragrance community. But 10 and 9 on this list, the reason why they're paired together is because these are two highly popular, beloved fragrances that just haven't hit with me yet. And actually, both of these, the reason why they're on the list is because they are growing on me, but they're just not up in my top 3 or 4. So when I got this one, this is one that I guess mentally I'm bad about hearing all the hype, expecting it to blow my socks off. And then when I get it, I'm a little disappointed. And this is one of them that was like that, but it's really growing on me a lot. The note breakdown on this thing is amazing. It's a listing of notes that I love. Cypress, elemi, and bergamot in the top. 2 types of vetiver, orris, and incense in the mid. Benzoin, sandalwood, patchouli in the base. So I love woody fragrances. I love resinous fragrances. I think what's missing for me on this is I would like more citrus in the top, something to give it a little more brightness and a little more fresh opening. Other than that, it's really, really good. And if you don't really need a lot of citrus, you'll probably really like this one. It's a great fragrance. That is number 10. All right. At number 9, another one here that is beloved in the fragrance community. It's just not, not entered into my top 5 yet, but it's definitely growing on me. From the house of Versace, their Pour Homme line. This is Oud Noir. You've got to like wood in order to like these top 2 fragrances. If you don't like woody fragrances, you're not going to like either one of these. And when I first smelled this one, even though it was listed as a good introductory fragrance to oud, the oud just overwhelmed me at first. It's just very wood. It's like smelling a chunk of moist wood. And I wasn't getting a lot of the bright topness. Now, I smell that orange in the top. It's got neroli, black pepper, saffron, and cardamom in the mid. Those are 2 expensive, great kind of spices that are used in a lot of high-end perfumery. Olibanum as well, a resin. And then you've got agar wood, which is technically not oud, but it's the oud note listed. And then you got patchouli and leatherwood blossom, I believe. Another list of just amazing notes that you would find in a lot of high-end perfumes with the wood, the oud or the agar wood, the saffron, the cardamom, the neroli. So this is a really good one as well. Again, I think what would help me with it would be maybe just a little more citrus, make it a little brighter. But that at number 9 is Versace Oud Noir. Now, 8 and 7, I'm going to give you, these are paired together because there are a couple of cheapies and there are a couple that are not maybe as well beloved in the fragrance community. They don't get a lot of pub. And the first one is Animal. So from the house of Animal, this is their self-titled fragrance. It's an amber woody fragrance from 1994. But listen to these notes. You've got honey, pineapple, vanilla, tobacco, patchouli, amber, nutmeg, lavender, sandalwood, musk, lime, galbanum, ylang ylang, cedar, rose, jasmine, lemon, and lily of the valley. I mean, that's a note listing for some high-end, Raja Parfums creation, or something like that. That is an amazing list of notes, and it smells amazing too. The only knock on it is the oil quality. You can tell that it's not a high-end fragrance manufacturer. Okay, it's not really synthetic-y as much as it just doesn't smell as well blended, and as you can tell, it's not high quality naturals. But the fragrance is amazing. It's really, really good. It smells like it's something from the house of Terry Mugler. In fact, I'm not sure if Amen come first or if Animal come first, but they have a little bit of a similarity. It's not like neither one of them smells like a clone of one another. It doesn't have that harsh, what a lot of people associate as a tar note that Amen has. And by the way, I love Amen. It's one of my favorite fragrances. But all that sweetness from the honey and the pineapple, this is a really good fragrance. If you're wanting just a great smelling cheapie, grab this. Another one, here's one that doesn't get any talk in the fragrance community that I know of. And at the number 7 spot, from the house of Bogart Pour, and this is their Pour Homme fragrance, Bogart Pour Homme. And I think I'm going to do these like this. So Bogart Pour Homme is a 98, maybe. No, 04. And I picked this fragrance up for like $9 on a website called fragrance11.com. And I'm going to do a video shortly in the next month or so on fragrance discounters that you may not know of. Everybody knows of Fragrance X and Fragrance Net and Fragrance by CA, and so on. But there's a lot of them out there. And what will happen is they'll have either just average prices, or maybe they're a little higher than average, and so nobody shops them. But what you'll find on them is they'll discount something, or they're trying to clearance something out, and you'll get a fragrance like this one right here for $8 or $9. And if you're not familiar with Bogart Pour Homme, it is I would call it a woody oriental. It's vanilla and woods, lavender, patchouli. Let me look at the note listing here. Top notes: lavender, bergamot. Middle notes: orange blossom, rose, lily of the valley. Base: tonka, patchouli, cedar, oak moss, musk. If you like Sauvage Elixir, but it's a little too thick and sweet and powerful, and you would like more of a zesty eau de toilette concentrated, but something that is similar to it, Bogart Pour Homme, you need to try it out. It's in that similar, it smells similar to Sauvage Elixir, but it is definitely, not as heavily concentrated. It's not an extrait. It's an eau de toilette, so it's going to be, it's got that alcohol blast, and it's lighter on your skin. But it is definitely in that realm of smelling kind of similar to it, and you can get that for about $20, pretty easily, and sometimes a lot cheaper. Number 6 and number 5, these don't really, they're not really, well, there's nothing really in common with these other than I just didn't like them when I first got them, and now I do. Number 6, Dolce & Gabbana Pour Homme Intenso. And now I said I didn't like them. I didn't like them as much as I thought I would. Let me put it more like that. Max Forte, and I'll talk about Max probably twice in this video, but his favorite fragrance of all time is Dolce & Gabbana Pour Homme. And he talked about it like it was the greatest thing ever, and I bought it, and I didn't like it at all. It didn't smell at all like what he was saying. And, of course, his view comes from the original formulation, and they've really took a lot of the, sounds to me like, and I've not been able to find a sample of a vintage formulation of it. I bought one that was supposed to be vintage, but anyways, it smelled exactly like the new one, so I think they just were putting a new formulation in a sample bottle and telling everybody it was vintage, because how are you going to know unless you actually know what it smells like, right? Well, anyways, so I don't think I've ever smelled the vintage yet, because I've never smelled that amazing DNA that he talks about. But he said this one was closer to the original than the current formulation of Pour Homme. So I got this, and I liked it when I got it. It is definitely, to me, better than the current formulation of Pour Homme. But it took a little while before I come around to it. I come around to it in the last couple months, and I really like it. It's a good fall and winter fragrance in my mind. It's got a hay note, I believe, in it. I'm not sure if that's listed. Yeah, it is. So top notes: lavender, water, basil, marigold, geranium, tobacco, hay, clary sage, maple accord, that looks like some type of fruit, bran, sandalwood, cypress, musk, amber, and labdanum. And so what makes it really different than a lot of other ones is, in my mind, the bran and the hay. It does kind of have this grainy, this kind of dusty, grainy vibe to it. And I know that sounds odd, like why would you want to smell like that? But it just makes it kind of different, and I really like Intenso. Number 5, one that you're familiar with, Mercedes-Benz Club Black. Club Black is a great cold weather fragrance. It's resinous, it's sweet, I would call it's probably an oriental leather fragrance in my mind. It's listed on Fragrantica as an amber fragrance, and that's okay. Yeah, there's a lot of amber resinous qualities to it. Top notes, you've got bergamot, which I don't get much of. There's not much of a fruity, citrusy opening. You get it a little bit. I mean, it's there. Again, for me, I don't know if I would really want it amped up much in this one, where I would like it amped up a lot in Ancre Noir All Extreme. This one smells really good from the opening, but mainly you're getting that resin and the vanilla. The woods, there is that ambroxan there that kind of makes it kind of sparkle and kind of pop off of your skin. Concentration is an eau de toilette. And it smells like it is. It's not very alcoholic, so you don't have to worry about that. It kind of smells like it's somewhere in between an eau de toilette and eau de parfum. I don't need to say a lot about that. If you're familiar with it, you know that's a really good one. But it's just a sweet, darker, rich, vanilla, amber fragrance. It's not too smoky, although incense is listed. All right, 4 and 3. These two go together because I think they smell similar. Number 4, Boss, the scent. And to me, the scent is probably them, reacting to Dolce & Gabbana, The One, and Azzaro, Wanted and Most Wanted. Hugo Boss said, we need to come up with this is the scent. And they did a good job. The scent is an aromatic, spicy fragrance. Top notes are ginger, mandarin orange, and bergamot. And the middle notes are maninka fruit, lavender. Base notes, leather and wood. And this is a woody and leathery fragrance, but those are soft. And in the base, you really smell that lavender note and the maninka. I don't know, I wouldn't know what maninka smelled like on its own, but there's something so different in this that you can just tell it's probably that maninka. It's a fruity smell. But what really makes it is that ginger in the mixed with the citruses in the top. This is a really good office scent. I think it would work okay as a nighttime scent as well if you wanted to wear it to on a date or something like that. That's number 4. Number 3 to me is a very similar fragrance. It's just a little bit better. And it's from the house of Ralph Lauren. And it's Ralph's Club. And Ralph's Club is not getting much, publicity in the fragrance community. Most reviewers reviewed it when it first came out and just really haven't been saying much about it. To me, it's very similar to the scent, but everything is kicked up a notch. Everything is a little louder, a little brighter. It's a little more woody. It's a little more citrusy. It's a little more fresh. It's a little more spicy. It's a little more just kind of in your face. And I like that. I'm a loud fragrance kind of guy. I wear it because I want not only to smell it myself, but I want other people to smell it. And it features lavender in a more prominent way than the scent does. The lavender's in the top, and you get it from the top, and it's got that clary sage. Kind of gives it that, herbal essence to it. Cedar and vetiver. So we're not getting a lot of the notes, but it does smell similar to the scent, just in my mind, a little louder and a little bit better. A lot louder, a little bit better. And the top 2, what makes these 2 similar is that, amazingly, these are both clone fragrances. So at number 2, from the house of Just Jack, and this is Ombre Suede, which is obviously a clone of Tom Ford Ombre Leather. Now, not owning ombre leather, I can tell you that this fragrance, I would, and I do, in fact, I wear it, and it is, I don't know if this is a good clone of ombre leather or not. Max Forte said it was. He did an entire video on several from this house, Just Jack, which is made by Armaf. So Club de Nuit, Intense Man, everybody knows them. So if you like Club de Nuit, Intense Man as a good clone of Creed's Aventus, Max said this is really close to ombre leather. What I can say to you about it is that whether it is or it's not, it's a really good fragrance. You've got this citrus pop that comes out, but just as strong of that citrus pop is the leather. The leather, this says suede, and so suede is that the backside of the leather, and I get that. It's I would say a raw suede. It's kind of a raw leather smell. It's a very natural leather scent. It's a strong leather scent. So you've got to like leather or you will not like this fragrance. But if you do like leather and you want leather to sing in your fragrance, then I think you will like this. There is some spice in there. Cardamom is mentioned in Ombre Leather's note breakdown. I couldn't find a note breakdown for this. But there's definitely some spices. I would say maybe along with the cardamom, you may be getting some, well, it may be more herbal. It may be some sage. There may be some tarragon, something like that. There's an herbaceous, quality to it. There's some resinous, a little bit of a moss and an amber and kind of a chord in the base, kind of that classic patchouli, oak moss, amber base that you get in a lot of fragrances. But this is a really good fragrance. So whether it's a one-to-one clone of Tom Ford or not, I don't know. But what I do know at number one, what I would call a great one-to-one clone, and that is from the house of Alexandria, and this is Et Sauvage Elixir. And I do own Sauvage Elixir. I have a sample of it that I bought first. Then I ordered a whole bottle. I got this in before I got the whole bottle, and I have not opened that bottle, and I'm either going to probably sell it or send it back, because this right here, I mean, if a fragrance smells, 75% like another fragrance, that's really close. I mean, that's saying that in the air, not smelling them side by side, someone would probably think you're wearing, whatever the main fragrance is, if it's 75% close or better. This thing is, I don't know. I don't have a scientific nose. To me, it smells just like it. When I spray Elixir on one hand and Et Sauvage Elixir on the other hand, there is a slight, subtle something that's just sort of kind of different, but it ain't in quality. It's not strength. It's not longevity. It's not any of those, and it's not even fragrance. There is something that is maybe not 100% exact. So it's not a 100% exact one-to-one clone, but it's 95, 99. It's so close that probably the perfumer would be, the only one that could smell it in the air and tell there's a difference. But what I love about it is that it is such a good cold weather fragrance. It's sweet and it's woody and it's lavendery. It's all the things that I like, although I'm just now kind of coming around the sweeter fragrances. I've always loved lavender. I've always loved wood. I've always loved spices. You've got that saffron, that cardamom, there's some cinnamon. You've got that sandalwood, amber, patchouli, vetiver in the base. It's just rich, thick, sweet, appealing. It just smells really, really good. And right now it is my favorite. So it's at the number one spot it goes right here, for 10 more winter fragrances. All right, guys, that's the video. It's a long one, but I appreciate you sticking around, liking, comment, subscribe, help me out, and I appreciate it. Till I see you down the road, frag on, frag fam. God bless you. Have a great day.